Good evening. It's Jubilee. Happy Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day. I got something to say. Happy Mother's Day. I got something to say. Happy Mother's Day. I got something to say. Oh, Lord. Hope you're having an awesome Mother's Day. Maybe you're out in a restaurant somewhere. But God was really speaking to me on the way home, so I had to jump on a live and share, because that's important. Hi, Mommy. Giants, they fall. Problems resolved. Defeat renounced. Victory resounds. Hi, Mommy. And they all come tumbling down. Yes, they all come tumbling down. Yes, they all come tumbling down. Tumbling down. Woo! Mountains do move. They move, you know. Disproved. Walls have fallen. Give God glory. Woo! Hey, Tiffy. Tumbling down. Yes, they all come tumbling down. It's my favorite part coming up. I was just going to play a little bit, but you know, it got good to me. It got good to me. It got good to me. What made you think you stood a chance against great I am? Apple of his eye, joint heir is who I am. Spirit, power, and love. Persecuted, but not abandoned. Cast down, but not destroyed. These walls are temporary, and they're gonna come tumbling down. Hey! Woo! I hope y'all coming out on May 27th. Yes, they all come tumbling down. Oh. Yes, they all come tumbling down. Every wall. Defeat shall be defeated. Poverty shall be destroyed. They will all come tumbling down. Yeah. Woo. Hey, Mama Coles. Hey. Happy Mother's Day. The Lord was talking to me while I was driving home, so I had to come on the live to tell the people. So today, in addition to me telling you Happy Mother's Day, I want to talk about strength and vulnerability. Strength and vulnerability. So, where do I begin? So I was thinking about an experience that I just had a couple of days ago. I am like a spa enthusiast. I love to go to the spa. Anyone who knows me knows I love to go to the spa. I love massages. I love facials. I love pampering. And so I went for a massage on Friday. Happy Mother's Day, Mama Coles. Thank you for tuning in. And I've had a lot of massages in life, but I had a life-changing massage on Friday. Sissy! Hi, Aaliyah. Aaliyah, I still don't have your number. I can't find your number if I wanted to. You ain't responding to my video, Aaliyah. Okay, but anyhow. Hello, Mr. Stone. Miss Stone, sorry. Okay, so I went to the massage therapist. Hey, Michelle. Hey, Tammy. So I went to the massage therapist, and I mean, I've been having just a rough time. If you come out to my show on May 27th, which I hope you do, Sunday Soul Flow, 5 p.m. It's in Brooklyn, East Williamsburg. The information is on my page, and I will reshare it as well. But of course, my body was super, super, duper, duper tight. Hey, honey. Super tight. And of course, the therapist begins to do what the therapist does best. And what it turned into was a very painful experience because it was deep tissue, which I'm not a fan of deep tissue, but I allow it because I understand that sometimes in order to get that tension out, the therapist needs to go a little deeper. Otherwise, somebody just rubbing on your arm, and I don't want nobody just rubbing on my arm. I don't like those kind of massages. It got to have a purpose to it. Anywho, so it gets to a part in the massage where there's a very, 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 very tender, painful area, right, on my leg. And as the therapist is going, the therapist says, this right here is emotion, right? Like, this is emotion. And I'm like, and at that moment, well, actually before that, I was already trying to be super, super strong because I didn't want to cry on the table. I didn't want to scream because I was like, oh, this hurts. I won't say it was like labor pains, but I was in pain. It was hurting, but I like I said, I allowed it because I know that it was going to release the tension and the pain in my body. And so at that moment, the therapist looks at me, he goes, let it go, and presses on the most tender part of my leg. And I wept on that table like a baby. Like all of that, right? And I'm like, oh my God, what is happening? And you know what was happening? Vulnerability. Vulnerability. I spent most of the time on the table trying to be strong, trying not to whimper. I was heavy breathing, like I was like 8 centimeters dilated or something like that. Yeah, the ugly cry, mommy. And, I heard the Lord say while I was on the table, this is part of your healing process. And this sometimes is what healing feels like. It's learning about and embracing the tension between wanting to be strong, but needing to be vulnerable. I'm going to say it again, right? Part of healing. We all have had some sort of traumatic experience in our lives, right? And if you ask me, like, I am in a healing process, and I'm going through various things, which, of course, if you come to my show, I'll be sharing little tidbits here and there. But we all have been there. We all have been through something in our lives. And if we tell it, it's like we over it. Girl, well, that was the past. I'm moving on. But you know what? My body was telling a different story. My body was saying, you are moving forward, but there are some things that you have not released yourself from or you have not let go of. And that's why the therapist's word was so key when he said, let it go. And at that moment, the pain was so great, but I also knew it was necessary to kind of go through that to get to the healing, which was on the other side of the pain. But I feel like as women and as mothers and as, people, for those of you who are not women or mothers tuning in, that we fight to be strong when we really need to be vulnerable. When we really need to say, I'm not okay. When we really need to say, this hurts. When we really want to cry, but instead of crying, we smile and we say, because the joy of the Lord is our strength, which I believe, because I believe I'm a symbol of joy. But there's times where I can smile and laugh and cry all at the same time, And so today I wanted to share a piece of, my story, because that moment on the table for me was life-changing, and it reminded me about the need to be vulnerable more than the desire to want to be strong, look strong, feel strong, appear to be courageous all the time. Oh my God, you just always got it together, girl. I just don't know how you do it. And it's like, I don't know how I do it either. I'm not even sure if I'm coherent right now. Actually, I spent most of the night crying myself to sleep, and I snapped on my kids in the supermarket because they asked for a piece of gum, and I told them don't ask me for nothing when we got to the store. And the list goes on in the different ways that we share our emotion. And again, it's all in the lane or the desire to want to show that we are strong. And so I want to encourage everybody who is watching right now to, be strong, but make sure you balance it out with vulnerability. Because when we don't, we block blessings. We block the hugs that we're supposed to get. We block somebody saying, you know what, let me take the kids for you, for a few hours so you can get, some rest. We block the phone calls of encouragement. We block out blessings when we're like, I am woman, hear me roar. You like, that was good, right? That was good, right? I am woman, hear me roar. I'm a person, hear me roar. Like I'm courageous. And we block blessings because when people look at that, they're like, oh, you're good, right? She's good, he's good. They don't need me. They don't need what I have, right? Versus if you're going through a financial crisis and the girls want to go out and eat or the guys want to go out and eat, who's vulnerable enough to be like, sorry, I really can't afford it right now? Maybe one of the people going out would say, oh, okay, no problem. I got you. Come on, right? But instead we're like, nah, I'm going to go home, play with my dolls. I'm going to, watch some Netflix and chill by myself. I'm not really feeling like company right now. And when that's really not the problem, because we don't want to be vulnerable, because we don't want to be, feeling ashamed, or, we feel like somebody's going to judge us or criticize us, which people do occasionally, we can't control that. We say something that is not the truth, something that builds a wall and says that we are all right and that we don't have needs, when we really, really do. And I think that, again, that's a blessing blocker, because people really don't know what's up unless you are vulnerable enough to say it. Now, I'm not talking about complaining, which, I think we all complain at some point. I know I complain, like if I've just had enough, but I try to bring myself back and be optimistic and, get my words together. But the point is that we need one another. But if we continually, let me pause a second. One hashtag I don't use is don't judge me. You will never go on my page and just scroll down and see if you can find the hashtag don't judge me. I don't use it. You want to know why I don't use it? Because I don't care. Judge me if you want. I feel I have one judge, and that's God. And so I say what I say, and I believe that I'm moved by the Holy Spirit when I say what I say, and that's it. But like, even if you do judge me, what are you going to do about it? Do you have a gavel to send me into prison, or do you have some sort of, backing where you can get me into jail or hell or heaven? No. So I really do not pay much attention to that, which is why I don't believe in using that hashtag. So if you with me on that, let me see some hearts, because I need to know, are y'all out there? Like, cancel out the hashtag don't judge me, right? You say what you need to say and be vulnerable, right? And I know that sometimes people feel like this is something that you need to build trust around, right? It's like, how can I be vulnerable with people that I don't even know? And I get it. But I don't really know the massage therapist from a hole in the wall, but that didn't stop God from using him to break something that was holding me back and that was causing me pain, So yes, be wise about who you're connecting with and all of that. But I believe that God is bringing us into a season where perfect strangers could have the answer to what you need. And if you're not vulnerable, then God will not be able to use those people to bless you. You see? So I'm not saying to go, in the supermarket down the aisle talking about, I need more money, can you help me? Can you help me? Can you help me? Oh Lord, while pushing your cart. I'm not saying that, but I am saying to be open to how God will bless you outside of your normal activity, outside of what you're used to, because blessings can come that way as well. And if we constantly put this wall up, I'm good. It's kind of like what we do, with our significant others. Sometimes I won't call everybody out on it, because I don't know if that's true, but or anybody, when they ask, are you okay? You're like, I'm good. Now you were just kicking the copying machine, you spilled your coffee, you were just all the way upset. But then when somebody asks you, are you okay? Thank you. Same to you. Happy Mother's Day to all the mommies. But when somebody comes and asks you, are you okay? You say, yeah, I'm good. Oh no, I'm good. I'ma be good. I'ma be all right. And it's like, you were just kicking a copying machine, bruh. You ain't all right. So that's my word for today, right? God gave that to me as driving home. This tension between strength and vulnerability. Vulnerability is a form of strength, because it says, I am not afraid of removing the mask, of breaking down the wall, right? Thank you, Jessica. and saying what it really is, and saying what my need really is, and saying what is really bothering me, and saying what I'm really disappointed about, and saying what I'm really hurt about, and saying what I really wish I had, right? And hey, sis, Malika, right? And so that's what I want to push you into that place where you're okay with being more and more vulnerable. It's not going to happen overnight. I'm still working on it. And that moment that I described to you on that massage table, it took me by surprise, but I let it happen because I think it was the Holy Ghost, and it was something that I needed for healing. And again, strength, vulnerability. We have separated the two, and we have called vulnerability complaining. We have called it weakness, but even the Bible says that when we're weak, then God will make us strong, right? He makes us strong when we're weak, right? And I don't consider vulnerability to be weak. I actually consider it to be strength, because we're able to take the mask down, right? I don't think that we should be walking around with these masks. I don't think that we should be having up these walls. Like, why can't I look at another human being and when they say, how you doing? Well, this is what we do as Americans. We ain't right. How you doing? Good. You don't really want to hear what the person has to say after that. So I think we got to work on that. But people just really keep it moving, and I think we got to work on that. But why don't we just stop and listen for a second? Build relationships with people and be able to say, you know what? Actually, I'm having a rough morning, right? Yes, sis, right? Vulnerability is strength. I'm not actually having a good morning. Today it was rough. Some days the boys drive me nuts trying to get out of here in the morning. It's a miracle I be matching some days. I'm like, right? But my point is, let's take down these walls. Let's agree that we are not going to be using these "don't judge me" hashtags anymore. And let's be okay with telling the truth about where we really are. Today, Mother's Day, was a good day, but it was also a hard day for different reasons. And my mom, she called me. She's like, I felt like your spirit was crying. I said, go ahead, Prophet Mommy. She was right. My spirit was crying. I was feeling, sad. And I'm not going to lie about it. I'm not going to be like, no, I'm good. No, today was a hard day. Hey, Tisha, right? And look at Tisha. You're my hero, girl. Tisha, you are my hero, right? Tisha lost her mom. She should lift her up and pray in Jesus' name to just heal her heart, and comfort her. But Tisha lost her mom, a little while ago. And that's my point. Like, we have a bunch of people who were going through life today, and they were not necessarily in the best of spirits, right? But I'm sure if they're vulnerable enough, then somebody's going to be able to give them that hug they needed, that word of encouragement, so that they can go on, right? And I think, again, I will say it for the 80th time, these walls need to come down. And let me just put this caveat, because I feel the Holy Ghost on this. We need to stop the gossiping, and we need to stop the backbiting, because that's what is stopping people from being vulnerable, to be honest, right? Like, we are not, in high school anymore. Like, I used to be a gossiper in high school just because I thought, it was cool. But now we're older. Are we done? But as women, and I'm talking to the women. If you're a man on here, God bless you. Don't stay tuned. But seriously, though, we need to stop. I love you, Tisha. We need to stop with the judging one another. We need to stop with the backbiting. This is why as women, for many reasons in addition, but this is why as women we cannot be free. Because instead of being a sister and praying for one another, and let me see some hearts if you understand what I'm saying, because I believe I'm talking real. Let me see some hearts on this screen if you understand what I'm talking about, right? It's too much judgment. Look at her shoes, look at her hair, look at how she dressed, look at her man, look at her this. She ain't gonna, and we're supposed to be believers encouraging one another, but we tear each other down. And I think that stops people from getting healed. Because people are like, yo, I trusted you as my sister, or I trusted you, with this very private information, or I did take off the mask. I did tell you the secret. I did tell you some of my past, and you threw it in my face. Sister, sis, this word that we throw around. So I think that's a part of it as well, right? If we're going to really be able to be vulnerable with one another, then we have to have boundaries, and we have to move in a godly way and make sure that we are being supportive of one another. You won't catch me doing that. Because people's lives depend on it. And You don't know. Something that you could say or do could save somebody's life. You don't know where somebody is. They might be at a crossroad where it's between life or death for them. And something that you will say will help them live on and not quit, not commit suicide, not walk out on their family, not walk out on their marriage. So we don't have time for the backbiting and the gossip and the comparison and all of that. We're all beautiful in God's eyes. Why can't we just rock like that, you know? So anyway, I will wrap up this whole thing by saying vulnerability is strength. There is a tension between wanting to be strong, right? And I mean appearing strong, and needing to be vulnerable. And I believe that when we are vulnerable, right? Thank you so much, Elaine. I believe that when we are vulnerable with one another, with the people, you know, closest to us, and sometimes even strangers, as we are led to, there's healing. Healing can come about when we are vulnerable. We block our blessings when we are not. When we put this mask on and we go through, and really, my body was a symbol of that. And I do feel I was being vulnerable to a certain extent, but my body was bearing the pain, right, of everything that I was holding inside. Just trying to, you know, just compressing everything, right, or suppressing everything rather than sharing it and crying more. Maybe I needed to cry more. Maybe I needed to talk more through it, you know. But instead, my body was bearing that. And that's why that moment was so critical for me. So I just want to encourage you. Be vulnerable. Be strong. Happy Mother's Day. And May 27th. May 27th. Listen, I will break out into a full-on Running Man and Roger Rabbit on this here live. Now, don't you make me do it. We are in Brooklyn at Legendary Republic. It's 258 Johnson Avenue. It's like East Williamsburg somewhere. We got comedy. Church of Laughs Live is going to be there opening up. We're going to have a couple of artists, and then I'll be coming on the stage. Just come on out, have a God moment, have a good laugh. It's called Sunday Soul Flow. There are several ways that God can reach your soul. It doesn't have to just be inside the four walls of the church, and that's why I am not doing it in a church, because I think that God can touch his children anywhere, including the church, including the supermarket, including the parking lot, including the movie theater. Sorry. Anyway, I want to see your face in the place. That you can go to my website, www.itsjubilee.com. Click on the upcoming events tag. You can purchase your tickets there. I want to see your faces in the place. There will be food on sale, dessert on sale, and I really hope to see your face in the place. If this video has encouraged you, can you please tag somebody in it and share it on your page? Please. Tag somebody, share it on your page, all right? Happy Mother's Day again to all the mothers. I love you. Do something to uplift someone else, okay? It could be the decision between life or death for them, all right? God bless you. Hope to see you on May 27th, 5 p.m., Sunday Soul Flow. Take care.